Okay, what's going on, everybody? Good evening and welcome. So, today, me being 8 weeks out from my next show, my next season, I want to reflect back on last year. I think I already have a video up on my channel right after last year's show where I shared a little bit of my thoughts on the show and what happened, but I want to go back into that with another year of doing this. And I think I'll be able to reflect on it a little bit more deeply and really just have a little bit more insight on what happened, what we needed to do and to improve, and why it went the way it went. So everybody that didn't see it, last year I did classic physique. I was in class D, which means the tall athletes. So in classic physique in the NPC, you have classes A through D. And I was in class D, me being relatively tall, 6'4" or 194. I'm in the tallest category, and I ended up getting 7th place out of 9 people in my class, which is frustrating, obviously, especially the first time that I competed. I got basically the same placing. Came back the next year with 10 kilos of stage weight added, without any body fat or anything like that. So it wasn't like I showed up 10 kilos heavier, which is like 25 pounds. For everybody that doesn't know the metric system, it was actually just 10 kilos of real muscle, which is pretty crazy to build in 1 year. But in the beginning of the journey, I think it's pretty realistic to do that if you do it correctly. So came back after that, obviously got the 7th place again. With a lot of the same competitors too, so they obviously progressed. I progressed a little bit more, but it still wasn't enough, and it was a huge frustration last year. I mean, I remember just walking out of the show and just saying, like, just really questioning myself on, is what I'm doing worth it? Like, why am I wasting so much time and energy? Why am I, wasting all this money, especially? I mean, it's like we saw in the last video, it's very expensive to do this. I'm sacrificing a lot and I'm not getting anything out of it. Is everyone else just better than me, or, do I just not have it in me? Like, I've always been the skinny kid, so genetically it was always a little bit tougher to gain weight and stuff like that. So I was questioning myself a lot and got pulled back out of that by my girl, luckily, and got encouraged to move on, and that's what we did. So I moved on. I did a whole other year now of off season. So we're back in the same place. We're doing the same show because I don't want to just choose another show to just see if I can place better there. I really just want to go back to the same show, show up much improved, and just take away a deserved improved placing. All right, so I just want to look back at some of the photos of last year. I'm going to pull them up on my phone quickly. Okay, so I'm going to start with the individual photos. These are just better quality, and you can just see my physique a lot better than in the comparisons. There were a few people that were a little shocked by the placings. And if you look at these pictures, you probably might ask yourself the same question, or maybe not, who knows. But I was just going to go through these. So this is the teacup pose. This was an individual posing round, so I'm just on the stage by myself. So as you can tell, the conditioning, like I said, 0 fat. The structure is good, so I got a really big frame, obviously. A tall frame. I got long legs and long arms, which can be an aesthetic factor, especially combined with the small waist and the vacuum. But just looking at this, I think you might be able to tell that the legs especially were a little bit behind, and in the other posts or in the other pictures you will also see that the arms were probably a little bit behind overall. So like, the thing with long limbs, long arms and long legs is you need so much muscle on them to make them appear round and give them that X-frame factor. So If your leg is really long, like for example, a lot of you probably know Wesley Wissers. He has a similar height to me, and a lot of people complain about his legs, but when he stands next to Ramondino, the legs are not smaller at all. You can tell he has really big legs from the front. This is kind of the problem here. The arms and the legs need to fill out a lot more to sweep more, basically, and to give that silhouette. So I think the whole problem, also if we go to the back double bicep, the biggest problem I had is just the silhouette that was kind of missing. Maybe I over-dieted it a little bit, I'm not sure. But if you look at the arms here and the legs also, like I said, the conditioning was among the best of all other guys on stage. I mean, if you look at my glutes and the hamstring area, there's not a single ounce of fat on there. I mean, I was dry, and that's something that genetically I'm just able to do very well. I can lose body fat. I don't retain a lot of water, so it's really easy for me to do that. But it's really difficult for me to hold on to the size and the fullness while I'm going through that process. So when I'm on prep and when I'm dieting, I just need to be really careful not to overdo it in terms of cardio, especially if I'm doing something like a bike, a stationary bike or a stepper. I can lose my legs really quickly if I'm on a calorie deficit. So I need to be very careful. So this year we're just doing the walking pad, and we're really making sure that we don't drop weight too fast. We keep onto the performance in the gym to just keep the fullness there. Because like I said, the problem is not losing the body fat for me, is keeping the fullness and just keeping the muscle on the frame. So, but yeah, as you can tell, the silhouette just, even though my structure has a lot of potential with the small waist, the pretty wide upper back, I would say, the small hip joint, there's a lot of potential there for a really good X-frame, but it just wasn't there. It wasn't there yet. So also if you look at the front double bicep as well, here you can really tell the weakness in the arms compared to the rest, and also the lats were kind of lacking. So my lats usually aren't a weak point, but probably because of the extreme dieting and also the way that I'm posing here, my lats just don't pop at all. Like, my upper body doesn't have a very nice V shape in this shot. And I'm gonna throw up some pictures from this off season now, like the check-ins that I did 2 days ago, and you can just tell, like, the look is dramatically different. So the amount of leg size from the front especially, but also from the back that I've been able to build, and the lat sweep, the sweep of the lats in the front shots, I think everything is just dramatically improved again. So it's another year of off-seasoning, another year of a lot of improvements. So I'm hopeful again that this year will be a different story. But I'm just gonna pull up some pictures of comparisons here. So as you can tell, if we go into the back double bicep, this was my favorite shot of the whole show because I was just the leanest from the back. And if you compare this back double bicep to the other two guys that are in the picture, I wouldn't say that I got smoked, but there's just a little bit of size difference that broke my neck, especially the guy in the center, the guy on the right. He was the one that won the whole class, so he was the first place. You can tell a big difference in the size of the arms, the shoulders, and even the legs too. I mean, it was too much of a dramatic difference in terms of size. Even though his shape, his conditioning, everything just wasn't as nice and it didn't flow as nicely. He just had a lot of pop, a lot of roundness to his physique, and that's just why they favored him over everybody else. The guy next to me as well, I would say I got him on conditioning, but obviously looking at the arms, looking at the legs from behind, and also the back is just a little bit of size that I was lacking there. And then when we go to the front shots, when we go to the front double bicep here, this is where the problem really starts to come through. So look at my legs. They were super separated and super lean, much more than the guy next to me. You can tell a big difference in that, but the size just wasn't there to beat him. I didn't have the silhouette. Because if you look at the guy, he has a great silhouette in this shot because he kept his leg size, or he just has more leg sweep. And the arms too have a better sweep. And the lats also had more pop. So combining all those factors, he just had a better silhouette. So I would say, especially from the front, I lost a lot of these shots to these other guys. So to conclude, yes, the judging was fair. Yes, it was harsh. But I did what I could this year, put another off season into it, and looking at the progress that I made from the first to the second season, if I can make another leap like this year, and I think I can, then I think the cards will be shuffled. Then I think the cards are shuffled again, and I think I have another shot at just coming back and redeeming myself. So that's all. I'm gonna finish my steps, follow along for the journey, and peace.